Okay, folks, hold on to your seats. Time for a bit of cinematic history.
Well, do you want a backlight on this, or do you want like a zoom? Well, for the zoom, I don't know. You can...
Here's a little documentary footage of our first attempt at shooting a video demonstration of heat transfer in action.
Say MGM.
MGM. That's Marisa. She was assistant director and just about everything else.
Yeah, is that good for you? Sure. Yeah. Okay, so that's good.
And that's me, El Directore. Quiet on the set. Ready, camera?
Okay, rolling.
Take 5.
Action. See, this guy was supposed to stagger out of that tool shed and then get encircled with this ring of fire. It didn't quite turn out that way.
What was that for?
Great.
Stop the camera. Stop everything. What is going on here, people?
That's about all of that I can take. So it was no Star Wars. But hey, you gotta start somewhere. And that team science project paved the way for this video production operation. It's one way of breaking into the movie business.
I got electrical circuits. Want to switch? Hey, anyone want to fry themselves?
Buoyancy? Sounds like the perfect one for McGowan. Let's go.
Any medium may be used. Movie time, Raj.
Right on.
Come on, let's go. Air we breathe depends who we're standing downwind of.
I was hoping to get paired up with my buddy Roger. No such luck. Marisa Dempster, the mad photographer.
Hey, Peroni and Lopez are
I'll
together.
catch you in the dark room, Megan.
All right, the sea might.
Disgusting. We took that last Thursday. Something about fluids. How thick they are, something like that.
Marisa wasn't my first choice, but I think it's fair to say she was pretty excited about being teamed up with me.
Connor!
Yeah?
Connor!
Looks like we're a team, Marisa.
Yeah.
Hey, Raj, what up?
We could probably use a Bunsen burner to demo all 3 modes of heat transfer: radiation, conduction, and convection. Take stills of the demos and present the project in a 3-ring binder. Convection might be the tricky one. Could use water convection.
A team, yes, but it took us a little while to come up with a game plan. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Now there was a classic.
I'm out of here. If you figure I'm going to carry this project out for the 2 of us, forget it.
Who's asking you to?
You call this research?
I'm hunting for ideas.
You're obsessed.
I want to do something fresh. We could shoot a movie.
A movie.
Well, not a movie exactly, but a scene on video. We could demonstrate heat transfer with special effects. I've got this great idea. This guy gets fried in a pipeline fire, but before he actually dies, he puts a curse on the project. Then the workers start going up in flames one by one for no apparent reason, and we capture it on video.
This is a science project?
We were told to use any medium we liked.
But where's the science? I guess we'd have to protect our actor with some sort of fire retardant to block out the radiant heat of the fire. Prevent conduction to the surface of his skin, too. I suppose we'd be standing around on location a lot in the cold weather, not generating much heat, exposed to wind chill. Bound to be some heat loss issues there. Ever shot any video before?
Well. Marisa says I've been watching too many Stephen King movies. She just doesn't appreciate the beauty of well-executed gore. She agreed to shoot the scene, though. Trouble was, we were a little short of expertise. We ran into some slight technical hitches, but I think I handled it with poise. Stop the camera. Stop everything. What is going on here, people? Does this look like a burning person? This does not look like a burning person. This looks like a water raft. This will soon look like an icicle. People, it's 30 below.
Marissa started to lose it around the 5th take. I think the stress got to her.
Will you chill out, Connor? An amateur crew, rinky-dink equipment, and no budget. What did you expect?
I expected a major barbecue.
Oh, and what part would radiation play in a stunt like that? How can we demonstrate a principle we don't even understand ourselves?
What are you talking about?
Heat transfer. Our science project. Remember?
Okay, people, let's break.
We didn't actually get our Northern Inferno scene together. The crew never made it back from the break.
Amazing place.
So we decided to go talk to Scott Doby. He knows how to do special effects.
He said to meet him in Soundstage 2. Didn't mention it's the size of a football field.
Hi, you must be Connor.
Hi.
And you must be Marissa.
Hi.
Come on through and I'll take you through to the shops.
Great.
So you didn't think the place was this big, eh?
No, it's not this big.
Marissa figured we needed to learn more about heat transfer issues. Scott was the assistant art director on the movie Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2. The movie had this cool scene where Mary Lou gets a firebomb dropped on her and she catches fire. The special effects were excellent. Just what I had in mind for Northern Inferno. Of course, you gotta get it right. You don't work up a stunt like that at recess.
So if the stunt artist's clothes are on fire, you've got a major conduction problem on your hands, right?
That's a good way to describe it. You have to slow down the heat transfer process. Yet, the fire still has to burn long enough so that you can capture it on film.
Your secret formula?
First line of defense. This is called water gel. It's very non-conductive. The stunt person had been coated with this from head to toe. Then she slipped into a Nomex bodysuit.
Nomex?
Yes, it's the same material that firefighters use. Again, it's a very poor conductor. It'll eventually burn. You can feel it there, it's quite soft. But it slows down the heat transfer process. You couldn't see it in the film, but the stunt person had on a hooded Nomex bodysuit underneath the dress. Her face was greased with the stunt gel, and the Nomex suit was completely soaked in it.
2 non-conductive heat barriers.
Yes, and there was a third. The dress had been dipped in a fire retardant process, and this fire retardant process is very similar to the ones that is used to treat theatrical curtains. And I've got an actual piece of theatrical curtain that has gone through the same process here. And I'll put the flame right to the material.
And the chemical dries, right? So the costume's convincing, even though the stunt person's got a slimy coating on underneath.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Like this Kevlar glove. It's the same type that steelworkers use to handle red-hot metal. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to coat my hand with the water gel. Then, as a second barrier, I'm going to put on the firefighter's glove that's got the Nomex. And then, as a third barrier, I'm going to put on this Kevlar glove.
A third barrier against the radiant heat of the flame.
You betcha. The material acts as an insulating shield against the heat of the flame.
But the flames must be very hot.
Oh yeah, they're really hot. What we used as a combustive source was paper cement. It's toluene based, and so it's highly flammable, and it burns for quite a long time too. I'll just lather on a bit here. We actually used quite a bit with the actress's dress. So you ready? And there you have it. One stunt hand, roasting away.
Scott raised a few logistical challenges. Nothing insurmountable, mind you. Get the right personnel together, and you can shoot anything. Trouble is, we didn't agree on what to do with everything we learned.
I think we've got just about all we need on radiation and conduction. If we just spruce up these notes and pick up a little more on convection, we're done.
I looked into the cost of that stunt gel. It ain't cheap. I'm gonna push for a student discount.
Tell me you're kidding me.
What?
After what Scott showed us, you still want to try reshooting the Northern Inferno scene?
It's not rocket science.
Do you realize what would have happened if our fire had ignited when we tried that stunt? We would have fried Aaron.
We know how to do it now.
Right. And you're an expert in brain surgery because you dissected a frog on your summer vacation.
Hey, what's the deal? I thought we had a plan.
How about the cold? We just about froze to death on location.
It wasn't that bad.
No one came back from the break.
They were upset.
They were suffering from hypothermia.
It was a little chilly.
It was 30 below. How do you keep warm at that temperature, good parka or bad parka, when you're standing in one spot for 4 hours straight?
They survived.
5 out of 7 missed class the next day because of colds, you included.
So we talked to someone in the industry.
Marissa did have a point, I guess.
You might step
There's a science to keeping actors and crew comfortable during a marathon shooting session. And the key lies in how you dress them.
You must be Marissa, right?
Yeah.
Marissa, this is Jill. Wow, so this is all your stuff.
Jill Concanon's an expert at dressing people. Jill was in charge of costumes for the film Life After Hockey. The movie was about the obsession Canadians have for their favorite sport. And it captured something else that is very Canadian, radical cold.
Is that Ken Brown's?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
For Life After Hockey, we had 1 week of temperatures at 30 below. When that happens, the costume designer has an added responsibility. You have to keep your cast and crew functioning.
How did you manage it?
Layers, lots of layers. Ken Brown had so many layers on, I don't know how he skated. This was the first one.
Polypropylene?
That's right. And on top of the polypropylene, 2 more layers of thermals, plus the wool sweater. So we had the insulation of the wool as well as the gap between the layers.
Dead air space. The air becomes the insulator.
That's right. Down would have been perfect, except for the hockey gear.
He'd never get his pads on.
That's right.
Well, what did you do for feet and hands?
For Ken Brown, we changed his insoles every few hours to keep moisture away, because whenever there's moisture, you lose heat.
Ah, by convection.
That's right. And then we had another trick for hands and feet. Here, click it.
It's warming up.
That's right. It's called a thermopad. Creates a reversible chemical reaction. It lasts about 20 minutes to a half an hour.
Conduction.
At 30 below, you do everything you can to keep warm.
And on top of all that, you actually had to think about what all your costumes looked like.
That's right. Details. Details.
You want to see the replay?
A deal's a deal. We made a deal. Look, just give us 4 hours on location then. We'll supply the materials. I can't provide a trailer. Listen, I'll loan you a parka.
After our visit with Jill, Marissa figured our research was done, but I still wanted to shoot the scene. And silver-tongued devil that I am, I talked her into it.
Where's that contract for the stunt consultant?
Did you call the insurance people back?
Have you heard how much money they want just to cover us for one lousy stunt? Yeah. No, Tuesday is not.
Funny thing, the whole idea of using video for a heat transfer project started to lose its appeal as the project deadline drew near. So we made an executive decision. Well, not we exactly, Marissa did, but I was with her all the way. She pulled the plug on the plan altogether.
I'm sorry it's gonna cost you money, but it's costing me my youth. Hey, what gives? The phone went. Dropping the video was a drag. Not that it hurt our marks any. We got an A for this little effort here. It wasn't all fun and games, mind you, but it did lead to this video production operation. I'll be shooting 4 or 5 things this month alone, provided my partner gives them the go-ahead.
Hey, Connor.
Speaking of my partner,
Connor, are you talking to yourself again? The Milford deal's on. Yes. We shoot on the 23rd.